Here to respond to that, California Republican Congressman Kevin McCarthy. He's the House Majority Whip. Congressman, good to have you here this morning. Welcome.
Thanks for having me.
So do you agree with the president there?
Look, the thing I agree with the president is we have a long-term unemployment problem here, and part of it is this Obama economy. It's been more than 5 years. We need to start focusing on job creation. The president's never even brought out a proposal to deal with unemployment insurance. He didn't even start talking about it till it was running out. We have more than 150 bills that have passed the House that are sitting in the Senate that Harry Reid won't bring up. The Skills Act, the energy policy. We're beginning to talk about tax reform. That's where we have to start moving, creating jobs. This is the worst labor participation since 1978. This is worse than Jimmy Carter. That's what we have to start producing jobs.
There's a story out today that says that the reality on the ground is that the president may very likely be faced with a Republican Congress again, throughout the rest of his term, which I'm sure you're not going to lose any sleep over. But that as he accepts that, if indeed that turns out to be the case, he's going to be more and more active, more and more working with his pen and his phone. And I just want to play what he said about that this week. Let's listen.
I've got a pen and I've got a phone. And I can use that pen to sign executive orders and take executive actions and administrative actions that move the ball forward.
It doesn't necessarily need you guys to approve any of this.
You know what? That is just the wrong way for America to move forward. The best way is for people to come together, let ideas participate, and have the best idea move forward. If you look inside the Senate, Harry Reid has been running it with, as the New York Times, which is not conservative, says, a brutish style. He's only allowed 4 Republican roll call amendments since last July. That's not the way to move. I think 5 years of this Obama economy is enough. We need to start moving this country forward, and I think ideas should be able to come forward. We're willing to sit down and work with this president at any time. He says he's willing to listen to Republican ideas. We've been passing more than 150 bills, Skills Act and others, to put people back to work, and the Senate won't even bring them up.
You know, he basically says that as far as this unemployment extension of benefits, that if you all don't go along with it, you're basically just being cruel, not really understanding the pain that is out there for people who've been looking for jobs and simply can't find them.
We're more than willing to look at unemployment, but we're also wanting to look at job creation. You know, this is the same president also said when he came in that he had to pass the stimulus, which they did under control, that unemployment would be at 5%. Well, that didn't come true either. I now think it's time to act anew in this president, to actually look at an economy. When you have labor participation worse since 1978, worse than Jimmy Carter, I think it's time to stop playing politics and actually start moving this economy in the right direction.
I want to look back at one soundbite that he said recently that might indicate, a change of tone perhaps in the way the president is addressing this jobs problem. Listen to this.
Because restoring the American dream of opportunity for everyone who's willing to work for it is something that should unite the country. That shouldn't divide the country. That's what we should be aspiring to, that everybody has a shot if they're willing to work hard and take responsibility.
Working hard, taking responsibility, you have a shot in America, restoring the American dream. Juxtapose that with this quote that became very famous during the last presidential election.
If you've been successful, you didn't get there on your own. You didn't get there on your own. I'm always struck by people who think, well, it must be because I was just so smart. There are a lot of smart people out there. It must be because I worked harder than everybody else.
It's interesting to look at both of those, isn't it?
He likes to divide this country. He always wants to put politics before people. I think we should put people before politics and get this country moving. And a uniqueness is we have a unique opportunity right here. As I said, more than 150 bills, Skills Act, energy policy, education reform, sitting over in the Senate, which they won't even bring up for a vote. The president goes out on these campaign trails, but I think one of the most telling things yesterday, when he was in North Carolina, the North Carolina senator, who happens to be a Democrat, who's out for re-election, didn't have it on her schedule to be standing next to this president, because I think this Obama economy is hurting everyone.
Yeah, she's clearly been hurt in the polls by health care in North Carolina. She chose not to be part of that appearance yesterday. But I wonder, because we see some Democrats, peeling off, they're maybe agreeing more with you guys a little bit in some of these health care difficult states. Do you see room for that negotiation between the two sides, perhaps without the executive office, on issues of job creation as well?
Yes, I mean, you look to the floor. Last week we passed a bill regarding reforming Obamacare, and we had 67 Democrats join with us. Today we'll have a bill on the floor that brings more transparency, and I believe a lot of Democrats will join with us as well. If we can get the Senate to start moving, I think we can get this economy moving again, despite what the president wants to continue to play politics. We can put the people first.
Well, I think, the people want to be put first, and I think they would love to see you guys all get together down there and make some of these things happen. Representative Kevin McCarthy, thank you so much. Good to see you.
Thanks for having me.
We mentioned this about